You can get somewhere in 10 years of normal Christianity or get to the same place in 5 years with trials. This is a piece of advice I got from a guy called Wes Martin, who was or is someone who works at IHOP doing the One Thing conferences. Now, I don't really know him, but I did get to spend an afternoon with him, and I will quickly tell the story of how that happened because it's kind of funny / ironic for what this is. I interned at IHOP when I was 21, and they had kind of like a point system where if you keep showing up late to classes or, I don't know, just misbehaving in general, you get these points. And once you got a certain amount of points, you got like a punishment day where you had to go and do some work on the base or something like that. I was on a phone call with my mum actually, just before a class, and we ended up speaking about something really important and serious. And my class was about to begin, and so a junior leader on the course came up to me and said, "Josh, you need to go to class, it's time to go." And I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I just need to finish this phone call with my mum." And he was like, "No, you need to go, otherwise you're going to be late and get points." And I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, like I need to do this." And he was like, "Josh, go." And so I just went, "Punish me however you want, I'm finishing this phone call. It's more important that I make sure my mum's okay in this conversation than blah blah blah." So he gave me what I deserved. I got a punishment day, and I got sent to this guy Wes Martin's backyard to go help him do some yard work and help him around there. And as we were working, chopping down these trees and loading trailers full of branches or whatever, the guy came up, was talking and just discussing things in general, and he said this phrase to me. He said, "You know, you can spend 10 years as a normal Christian, and at the end of that 10 years you're in this place. Or if you were to spend 5 years but filled with trials, you'll find yourself in that same place." Now, I found this to be really true. It was 9 years ago I got this advice, so I'm not at the 10-year mark yet, but there's two ways in which I kind of want to explain how I feel like this has helped me in my life and through my 20s and being a young person. I'm not a young person anymore. The first one is not running away from trials. I heard someone say it once, don't waste a good trial. If you end up in a trial, if you end up in a hard season and doing something difficult and in a tough spot, it's easy to just wish your way out of it, wish it never happened, think of how you could have changed things so that you weren't there. But the reality is that if you're in it, you're in it, and God probably wants you in it, and God probably wants to show you his faithfulness through it, and probably wants to deliver you out of it in the right way. People think that when you become a follower of Jesus, life becomes easy and all the problems disappear. Well, Jesus said the opposite. He said, if you follow me in this world, you're going to have great trouble. But he didn't say you're not going to have trouble. He said you're going to have trouble, but you can be of good cheer because the person you're following has overcome the world. So whatever the world throws at you, it's nothing bigger than what I've already overcome, Jesus says. So the first thing is don't run away from the challenges. Don't wish and will for a life where you don't, where you avoid them and just go through normal, because then you'll end up taking a long time to get somewhere. And I've definitely found this to be true. Don't waste a good trial. The second thing is kind of an extreme version of what was just said. This second thing isn't don't try and escape a trial. This one is embrace a trial. Look for a trial. Search out a trial. And by that, I don't mean go and get yourself into trouble, go and do something stupid. I mean enter into the spiritual disciplines that Jesus taught us, which actually put us in a bit of a wilderness and a trial season in our own lives. I'm talking about fasting. I'm talking about interceding. I'm talking about living generously, living by faith, taking kingdom risks. Every time you do one of these hard things, you are leaving a comfortable, lush area and you're entering into a tough spot, which is essentially a mini trial. Every time you fast, you are voluntarily putting yourself through a wilderness, through a trial, through a season without something that you deserve to have and that your body should have. And what I found is that if you give yourself to these practices, fasting, praying, interceding, generous living, you put yourself in that tough spot and you give God permission to accelerate the growth in your life. You give God permission to do something in your life that he otherwise probably wouldn't even have a chance to do because we haven't made room for him. And you basically, as you lean into God in these moments, have an opportunity to feel his strength and to have those good things come back into your life. So I have a love-hate relationship with fasting. I love doing it because of the benefits and what I get out of it. But boy, do I love food. and I mourn every night before I'm about to fast. It's like the mourning about fasting, you know, the thinking about fasting is worse than the fasting, but yeah, I haven't found a good way around it. But this piece of advice, I'll wrap it up here. I really, really believe it, and I'm really grateful that I got in trouble that day. Thanks, Mum, for helping me get in trouble. Thanks, that junior leader, for getting me in trouble. Because I would never have met Wes, I would have never have had this piece of advice, and I might be here 9 years later, having had 9 years progress of Christianity instead of however many God has done in my life. So I hope that can bless you. It's definitely blessed me, and yeah, hope you enjoy also this ridiculously wilderness-filled, trial-based environment that we decided to film this video in. Disclaimer about the sunglasses again. I'm not trying to be cool. It's bright, it's hot. We just trekked miles and climbed, I don't know, whatever kind of distance. Apologies for the sweatiness. Thank you guys, love you all. See you soon. Bye.